welcome to the channel. It's Thursday. It's probably about 11:30, 12 o'clock. And I thought I'd come up and walk around a little bit. It's a little bit drier today than it has been. And I'm gonna start out here at Soy 9, right on the northeast corner of the moat, and kind of walk around here a little bit. This is always an interesting area to walk around. And a lot of the people recognize this area. But I want to thank everybody that's come into the channel and subscribed and all that good stuff. And we're real close to 10,000 subscribers, and getting a lot of good comments and just having a good time here. I've got a hilarious story to tell y'all. Let came flying in my room last night. She goes, "I got to tell you this story." And so I sat there for about 30 minutes listening to her tell it. It hasn't hit the English media yet, but it's all over the Thai media. A really funny story about this Thai guy that's got 4 wives, and it's just, I mean, I've told stories before, true stories that I know of people that have tried to break up with Thai women before and had really a terrible time and really almost like a nightmare. But this guy, I mean, it's amazing. And I'm going to leave a link to some of the videos and some of the it's all in Thai, but you have to watch the video. It's hilarious. But I'll leave that in the description. You can see, and we'll walk down here a little ways, and I'll start telling you the story. Apparently, this guy's about 56 years old, and his wife, his number one wife, didn't really care if he had other wives, and like I said, I'm going on how Lek has described the story to me. So if I have to stop a little bit and think, kind of bear with me. But according to her, that his wife didn't care, and as long as he didn't interfere with his home life, she was okay with whatever he did. Well, apparently he found wife number 2, wife number 3, and then he comes up with wife number 4. And they all, I guess, live in the same town. It's not here in Chiang Mai, it's another province. And this guy's, he's got it made. He's got 4 different places he can go to, and 4 different wives, and I guess he's supporting them all. I don't know, I think wife number 4 might have had a little bit more money than he had. But things go along, and next thing you know, he's visiting his other wives, and he comes out and he finds nasty notes spray painted all over his car. He's saying, "What in the world's going on?" And I mean, some raunchy stuff that I won't even say here. Lek told me what it was. It had to do with his mother's anatomy below her waist, and she was writing spray painting on his windshield. Well, he starts checking his car, and he finds a GPS on it. So he takes the thing off and he throws it and goes back about his business. Well, wife number 4 starts calling him, and he's just giving him down the road bad. So he's figured out wife number 4 is, let's see, I think we'll go left here. Taiwan on bar. He figures wife number 4, all the other ones are okay with it, but wife number 4, she don't want no part of him seeing other women. I think we'll go straight here, and we'll come around to this other soy. And she's just giving him hell. And she ends up getting a program for her phone, because he won't answer the phone anymore, that calls his phone every 3 seconds. And it's driving him absolutely crazy. And it gets so bad that her cell phone provider cut her off, so she has to go buy another SIM card. And puts another SIM card in, and she starts calling him again. Well, he's not picking up the phone. So she decides that she's going to go to where he lives. And this is where it gets kind of funny. And he lives in a gated move-on. Well, he had already been to the security guards and given them a picture of her, telling them not to let her in the move-on. Well, she gets to the move-on, and the guards won't let her in. Well, she starts fighting with the guards, and they finally run her off and make a big stink about it. And from there, she decides, well, if I can't get him on, if he won't answer his phone, I'll send him a phone. So she starts hiring Grab drivers to deliver phones to his house. And she's calling him, and he won't answer the phone. And just crazy stuff. She ended up putting, I think it was 3 GPS devices on his car, and he kept finding them and throwing them away. She finally runs into him on the side of the road, and she attacks him, and they're fighting on the side of the road. And this is in the video. And some people try to come up and break it up, and just totally bizarre. Well, then she gets on social media, and she starts complaining about the guards at the move-on. And the move-on picks up on it, so they get a hold of the media. So now this guy is on social media and just going crazy. The whole thing is just completely not blown out of proportion, but you know, it's out in the open now. And just crazy stuff she's doing to him. She damages his car about 3 or 4 times, paints it, and still trying to call him on the phone. But anyway, he begs her. He gets down and he whines to her feet to please leave him alone, please leave him alone. And according to the video, finally, she apparently decides to lay off of him. And this is just recently, so we don't know if she started back up again or not. But this guy was having a fit, and he said, I'm not going to have no more wives. That's it. I'll stick with 3, and I'm not going to try to find any more. But that's the kind of crap that can happen if you start messing around and you don't know what you're messing around with. Oh, this is a neat place. You end up getting hold of one that you can't get rid of too easily. Wow, this place is really busy. In one of the other videos that I did, I talked about a guy that I knew. And he just invited a girl over to his house one night. And he thought it was a one-night stand. Well, she thought that it wasn't going to be like that. And he came home and she was hiding in the bushes, waiting on him. He had to run from her. He finally went to the security guards and got her banned from the place. And she still managed to get in, even though they knew not to let her in. But for a few weeks there, he was scared to go home. So, Inlek told me, she goes, Thai women are, you know, some of them are nice, you know, when you first meet them, but after you've been around them a while and you try to break up with them, they're not so nice. I do know of one guy that had his car vandalized. Actually, she torched it, and he broke up with this Thai girl, and he was Thai as well, and his car got firebombed. Now, we don't know for sure that she did it, but you know, it's pretty obvious that she was probably the most likely suspect. So if you're out here messing around, be aware, something bad can happen to you. And this poor guy, this poor Thai guy, he's all over the news, TV stations, social media. I don't know what's going to become of it, but she sure made a believer out of him, that's for sure. Me, I wouldn't have to worry about it. Lake would kill me. I wouldn't have to worry about it. Okay, I know where we're going to come out. Come right out the Diamond Breakfast Club. But definitely look down in the descriptions and watch the videos. It's so funny. You can just see the lady. It looks like she's sitting on the ground, and he's at her feet, on his knees, whining her, just begging her to leave him alone. Oh gosh. And it's funny, you know, he doesn't, you know, he's not some raving beauty or anything. He's just a normal guy. I was reading other articles today, and when I was looking at this, I was trying to find it in English because I didn't want to have to. I wanted to be able to tell it as best as I could. I couldn't find it, but I found a bunch of other stories, and mainly Thai guys having, you know, it was one guy that had like five different wives, and they all lived together, and they're all okay with it, and everything was happy. Now, Soy 2, I don't know if I've walked down here. Let's go down here. This might be neat. I don't know if I've done this down here. But, so you guys that come here and meet a girl and start a relationship with them, beware, you may not be able to get rid of them as quickly as you'd like to. And it may not be as pleasant as you like it to be. Yeah, I think I've been here, but it's been a long time. So far, from everything I've read, I haven't been over that side of town before again, but the water is pretty much dried up and everything's pretty much back to normal. If we don't get any more rain, we should be in good shape. And just out of a precautionary measure, I went to the doctor last night and hello, go ahead, no problem. And got antibiotics to take a week of antibiotics just in case. You know, we've got a trip planned up, and I would hate to be laid up with a foot infection. Yeah, it's a neat little area, all old houses. Hello. I know I've walked here before. Yeah, this is going to take me right back out on the edge of the moat. You read stories about guys that are living with Thai ladies and they want to break it off, and they end up moving out of their apartments in the middle of the night and moving to another province to get away from them. And some of them can be brutal, that's for sure, and possessive. But this guy, number 4, he met his match. And apparently she had some money because those GPS units are not cheap. And I think she paid for about 3 or 4 of them. And then the cell phone she was sending to him. Crazy stuff, man. Yeah, we're coming right out here. And I think.
The old town inside? The old town inside?
This side is the moat, yeah. Inside the old city.
That's the best to go here.
The best area?
Yeah?
Right through there. Just keep walking straight. There's some good restaurants. If you go out here to the main road, when you walk through here, go to the left. There's a real nice restaurant on the right-hand side.
But we want to see temples and old town.
Go right through here. That'd be good. You're in the right direction. But, so, you know, just, like I said, be careful. Be careful what you wish for. Oh, gosh. We had, I had a few cases back in the States, and it wasn't women, it was always men. And usually they just couldn't take no for an answer or goodbye for an answer. And a couple of them were pretty hard to deal with. I had one guy that was like 19 or 20 years old, and he had met his wife, he had met his mother's friend's daughter. His mother worked with a lady that had a daughter that was like 15, 16 years old. This guy was like 18, 19. Little short guy, not, I mean, I could have probably blown him over. And he was infatuated with this young girl. He wasn't doing anything that was let me see how I can put it. He wasn't doing anything sexual or anything like that. He wasn't, after her that way, but he kept pestering her. He kept, going, driving by and talking to her and stuff, and the mother didn't want any part of it. And she told him, she told her friend too, tell your son to lay off. And he wouldn't do it. And finally they came to me, and I went and paid him a visit. And I'm not saying anything, but I can be pretty intimidating when I want to be. And I can be pretty precise and direct. And I went to where this kid worked, and I called him out of work. And basically read him the riot act right out there in front of the security office. And he looks at me, he says, "What are you gonna do, put me in jail?" And I'm thinking, that's not the right attitude to have, my son. And whatever I did, it stopped it, because I never heard anything more about it. But he came up to about mid-chest level to me. And he just looked up at me and he said, "What are you going to do, put me in jail?" Like, screw you, buddy. And fortunately, he took my advice. But a lot of times, we would have to go to drastic measures to get them to back off. And sometimes they wouldn't. Wow, this is a neat little shop. These guys are getting infatuated with these girls, and girls would want to tell them to, go away, and they just wouldn't do it. All right, we're at Moon Mowing Road, Soy 9. So we'll go left here. We just kind of walked around in a big circle. Very good place to eat right here. It's starting to get hot. I don't think we'll get any rain today. I think the rain's gone. They spent most of the day yesterday cleaning up what I call Tall Tree Road, sweeping it because there's so much mud on it. Yeah, we walked around in pretty much a big circle. This is always a fun area to walk. I don't know how many times I've walked it. I would venture to say probably 4 or 5. Hello. But it's always nice. And now with things changing, everything's different. And before, when I first started walking in here, you come in, all these places were closed up and boarded up and shut up and nobody walking the streets. But Chiang Mai is starting to come to life now. Yeah, we just did. We just walked in a big circle. Now let's see if there's another way I can go. That's a neat place. Yeah, or I think we come right back out at Breakfast Club. Panita House. Huh. Well, I'm going to close this video out now and head back to the car with the air conditioning. These guys are just chilled out. How y'all doing? Working. Head back to the car and the air conditioner and go get something to eat and chill out. Now, y'all remember Saturday night we've got the live stream that starts at 8 o'clock. And I'm probably 90% sure that the coffee lady will show up. I've got to work with her tonight to make sure that her camera works and that she's able to get on. But that'll be fun talking to her. But anyway, we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.